This is Joe Malone. It is the Mason City Toros podcast, and joining me, the head coach of the Mason City Toros, Nick Bruneteau. Nick, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're going to talk Toros hockey. The Toros, after a three-game win streak to start the season, now evened up in the win-loss column. And I don't think it's a sky is falling sort of thing, because those three losses that the Toros have are against two of the better teams in the NA3HL. I mean, you're not in panic mode or anything like that, are you, Nick?
No, not at all. Obviously, you want to keep getting better, but we knew going into both those weekends that they were both going to be big tests. I think if you look at the past years, Granite City's always one of the top teams in the league, and so is Rochester. So we figured this would be a great benchmark early in the season to see where we're at and what we need to work on.
Now, if it was, losing to teams for their first wins, that might be a different story. But, you're playing some of the best teams in the NA3HL. And let's talk about Friday night. Friday night was at home at the Mason City Arena. It was a 9-4 Rochester win. Rochester got off to a very hot start in the game, 4 goals in the first period. How does that affect and or change your plans for a game when after 20 minutes you're down 4?
Yeah, it definitely changes up, a good amount of structure and what we're trying to do. When you're down 4, you got to figure out ways to create offense. And I think that also allowed us to give up a lot of offense for the other team. So, a lot more odd man rushes, but it's one of those things where you never play to lose by a little, you play to win. So if you're down by 4, you got to figure out a way, how can we get 4? So I think that's what kind of turned that into a run and gun type game.
I noticed that especially in the second period, it was Rochester 3-on-2, and then the Toros 3-on-2, 4-on-2, and it was just kind of trading off back and forth on those odd man rushes. And forgive me if this is the wrong way to put it, but was that the gamblers' take on that? Like, we've got to get something going.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think you have to figure out ways to create offense, and unfortunately, we didn't do enough defensively. I thought we could have probably played some of those rushes a little better, but we had to take chances. We talked to our defensemen about being active, joining the rush, and unfortunately, that allowed them to create offense as well. But we felt our best chance to win after the first period was to play more run and gun versus pack it in and play good defense.
Now, 6 goals in a 6-minute span, 3 each for the Toros and for the Grizzlies in that second period. Is that what is that like for you on the bench when it's like they get a goal, you get a goal, they get a goal, you get a goal, or do you just tell them go out there and keep rolling?
Well, as a coach, it's not the most fun, but it's a lot of highs and lows, and I mean it's just it's the same thing as in the course of the season. You have highs and lows, so I would have liked our response to be a little better. I think the shift after a goal, whether it's for or against, is so important, and I don't think we always answered that bell, especially after we scored the goal. So that's something we need to work on. The other thing is I think we gave up a little too much in the last few minutes of the first and the second, and those are always big talking points for coaches and for teams, is never get scored on in the last 2 minutes, and we didn't do a very good job of that either. So those are big momentum plays and big moments in the games, and I think we have to figure out a way to kind of wrestle those back in our favor.
Yeah, you bring that up in the final 2 minutes of the first period, final 2 minutes of the second period, Rochester scoring 4 of their 9 goals in that 4-minute time span there. And is it thinking, okay, we're almost out of this period, let's get ready to regroup, or what happens where a team like Rochester is able to take advantage of that time?
I don't think it's anything specific. I think obviously our guys were trying to do their best, but those are timely goals, and I mean those are things that hopefully we don't see in a few months. It's okay now. We'd rather learn now from our mistakes than have give up 4 goals in the last 2 periods in December or February or March. So. And that's part of the big thing with our group is I think they do a good job of not just learning from their own mistakes, but learning from each other's mistakes. So I think it's okay if it's a couple times or one time, but hopefully going forward from now we don't have to deal with those big momentum swings.
Now let's move on to Saturday. If you just look at the final score, that doesn't tell the whole story of this game. It was a 5-2 Rochester win over the Toros. Rochester, again, gets off to a good start in the first period, picking up 2 goals, but the Mason City Toros battle back with the goal in the second period, goal in the third period to tie it up, and then Rochester scores the go-ahead goal just over 3 minutes to play. Before we get all the way through that game, what did you think of the Toros' performance in that game on Saturday night? Were you more happy with what you saw on the ice?
Well, to be honest, I thought our first period was the same as the Friday night game, so I wasn't very happy with the first. I thought after we talked in the locker room, I thought our guys had a great response. I thought the second and third we were very good. I liked everything about our game in those 2 periods, but unfortunately, you need to play full 60, not just 40.
Yeah, the Rochester Grizzlies score with just over 3 minutes to play in the third to go ahead. And then you decide to pull the goalie. Was that almost immediately afterwards saying, all right, let's get the extra skater. It's better to win than to lose by whatever?
Yeah, so the logic behind that was we had our top line ready to go. So there's 3 minutes left on the clock. We have our top line ready, so why wait? We could throw another line out for a shift and then hold them back, but why hold them back when they're fresh? So also that goes into that is maybe they're not prepared, or maybe they don't have their guys ready. But I felt that gave us our best opportunity to tie the game was with our top line fresh with 3 minutes to go, and on top of that too, I mean there is a little bit that goes involved in that too. I mean if they go out and they don't get it done. Now we still have 2 minutes, and maybe we use a timeout, and those guys rest up and can go right back out. So it's I know that's always a hot topic is when you pull the goalie, why you pull the goalie, and for us it just made sense at that time. Is there's 3 minutes left, our guys are fresh. Why make them sit on the bench another shift when we can go for it now? So unfortunately, it didn't work out. So maybe it wasn't the right decision. But whether they scored the first empty netter, I'm not playing to. I should rephrase that. We're not playing to lose by a little. So if they scored that first empty netter and made it 4-2, we're still going to pull the goalie and try and tie the game up.
Okay. Now, I got a question about strategy and matchups when it comes to lines. How much is that a conscious thought that you always have? Like what line they've got out there? Oh, that their top line was just out. Let's roll ours out. How much are you thinking about that during the game?
Big time. I mean, it's a big part of the game now. I think you're allowed to have better matchups at home because of the last change. So on the road, it gets a little more dicey where they can match off of you. So it's more of trying to find that rhythm of what they're doing, who they're throwing out, and maybe you can kind of find a pattern and have that understanding of, okay, their first line is going to come next. Maybe we don't put our fourth line on the ice against them, or, we have a D-zone face-off. Let's try and increase our percentages here and put one of our top lines out. So there's just different variations that I think a lot of different teams run, some more than others, but it's just trying to shift the odds a little bit into your favor.
Yeah, as a casual observer, it's interesting to look at that strategy and understand, okay, this is why you're doing what you're doing out there, what you're hoping to achieve. Now, next up for the Toros is Wilmer. Wilmer, a couple of times this season, they've already scored in double digits. And what are you expecting from Wilmer? You're on the road Friday night. You're at home Saturday afternoon. What is this series going to be like?
So I think it'll be a combination of the Granite and Rochester, whereas Granite I thought was very heavy physical team, and Rochester was a fast, skilled team. I think Wilmer kind of sits right in between that. They got some heavy players, but they also got some skilled players. They're not as skilled as Rochester, and not as heavy as Granite, but they got a very good balance of guys that can kind of do everything. So we know it'll be a tough series. Wilmer, we expect them to be one of the top 3 teams in our division with us and Granite. So I think that'll be another great test for us out of the gate, and hopefully our guys are kind of licking their chops after the last 3 games. So I think we'll be ready to answer the bell.
Now, in addition to the game on Saturday afternoon, puck drop 3:00 at the Mason City Arena, it's also the Northern Iowa Chili Cook-Off, where people are welcome to bring out their best chili recipes. A number of guest judges will be judging. I'm not sure if I'm involved in that. I'd like to be. Word to the Toros management. But are you a chili guy, Nick?
I'm not really a big chili guy. The beans never did it for me. So But I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, for me, more meat than tomatoes is the way to go if you're looking to impress me. If I end up being a judge in the chili cook-off, just throwing it out there. But chili cooks, you do you. Yeah, you do you. One last thing I wanted to bring up is Give Hockey a Try is a program that the Toros are putting together. It's an opportunity for boys and girls, 10 and under, to be able to get some lessons from Toros players, I'm guessing, from some of the coaches. First one is October 24th at 11:30. You can find out more info, MasonCityToros.com. Now, you enjoy coaching teenagers, early 20-somethings here with the Toros, but what about coaching little kids? Is that something that you've had the opportunity to do before?
Yes, definitely. Especially when I was younger, actually, like around the age of our players is when I kind of started getting into the summer coaching and those things. And honestly, that age is so fun. It's so fun. I think you get a lot more of kids that are excited. They have the passion for it, and they're just happy to kind of try it out. Versus, the older levels you get, maybe it's just mom dropping off the kids. So it's another daycare version. So I think the younger ages are fun. I think, and I'm not sure exactly how everything will work, but I would assume our players will be heavily involved in helping out, and I know they like to do those things. Those are usually the community service and stuff that we overfill with our players because they all want to go do it. So I think that'll be a good opportunity for our guys to freak out in the community, but a great opportunity as well for the youth in the community to kind of get more involved in hockey and kind of find that passion and love for the game.
Yeah, and I love that's been a theme this year as the hockey season has gotten started, is just the openness and the opportunity for kids to be able to give hockey a whirl. Strap on some skates, grab a stick, and head out on the ice. So, again, you can find out more info about Give Hockey a Try with the Toros, MasonCityToros.com. Head coach Nick Bruneteau, thanks so much. We'll see you Saturday afternoon at the rink.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.